So welcome to part 4 of the custom build on this R33 Skyline. If today's intro looks a lot like last week's intro, it's because I've just filmed them back to back because I lost some footage. Today we're going to fit the blow-off valve to this car. I'm going to fit this monster blow-off valve right here in this location. It's going to look something like this when we're done. I've got a ton of work to do to get this blow-off valve fitted and finished. First step to fit this blow-off valve is to cut the flange plate. I've already drawn it in Fusion 360, so just using some 80 by 10 mil flat bar. I've written a program that uses 2 tools. This machine is manual tool change. Automatically probing a circle which is directly over the corner of the part, and this is finding 0 of that corner, and I'll use the same plate to set the top of the material. Just pop in a USB. I'm just manually going to check that the tool will clear those brackets as it goes around and cuts this part, so I can see straight away that this one here is going to foul the tool on the external profile. First program on this is to just pilot drill a couple of holes, which I'm going to thread after. So there's the bracket cut. You can see here I've left some little tabs to keep this part in place while I do the final cut through pass. So now with the flange all cut out, I'm just going to knock off these tabs that we'd fitted to the part. A little bit of isopropyl. Next step is to cut the threads. Just pop the soft jaws in. A little bit of cutting fluid. So isopropyl to clean off the cutting fluid. Some Scotch-Brite, and one last squirt with the isopropyl. So now I've just marked the orientation of how this fits in the vehicle. It's very difficult to film and do this at the same time. So just going to tack up on the intercooler pipe. So literally just a quick tack. That'll let me move that around while we figure out where final fitment's going to be. So intercooler pipe with the blow-off valve outlet tacked in place. So I don't even know what the shape looks like yet, but I've just made a piece of paper as a representation of the pipe, and I'm going to go ahead and just slowly trim this into where I think it should be, and just slowly make a template that will cut out of the aluminium pipe, and I'll show you how to do that shortly. So this is the piece that we need to make out of aluminium to fit the blow-off valve in. So let's go ahead and make that now. So if we just pop this back on, this piece of pipe here, And now in this instance, I'm going to trace the line on. Okay, so now we've got the line on our piece of pipe. I'm going to cut this with an angle grinder actually, as much as I don't want to. It's the best tool I've got at the moment. So here's the piece, cut out with the angle grinder. I'll go ahead and file all those edges smooth. So I've just tacked onto the intake tube, or this piece of the install actually sets where the blow-off valve will fit. And what that means for the intercooler pipe is that I need to relocate this a fraction. I need to bring the blow-off valve out about 10 millimeters just to get that perfect fitment. So that's the reason why we only tacked this on. And now just whip around with the die grinder. So all ported. So I've gone ahead and welded on the blow-off valve adapter to the intercooler pipe and refitted the intercooler pipe. So with the blow-off valve fitted, I'll go ahead and bolt the airbox back in. Okay, pop the pop filter in the airbox. See, that's a really big blow-off valve to fit in that really tight spot. I don't know if you can see there, but I can get my fingers. I can get my fingers past it here. I can get my fingers past it here. At the moment, I don't have a piece of silicone the right size to join it up. I don't have any hose clamps. This piece of silicone's too short. But rest assured, when everything's lined up, everything lines up. So that's everything fitting that blow-off valve to this car. I don't think I have pointed out at any point in this build, but there has been all along. It's how Riley found me. One of my R33 catch cans just nestled up in the back here. I'm assuming at this point that everything's going to be powder coated black, and if we just take a step back and look at that, that's going to look really, really good. So there we go, guys. That's the blow-off valve fitted today. In the previous episodes, we've done the airbox, intercooler pipe, compressor cover modifications, and made a dump pipe and mated it to the stock exhaust. This has been my first real custom job in a couple of years. Probably won't be my last, but maybe my last for a while. I've had a really good time building this gear on this car. I especially enjoyed the building of the airbox. I'm sorry you guys missed out on that initial build footage. If you go back and check the last video, you'll see what I mean. And as always, thank you guys so much for spending this time with me. I truly appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.